How's it going on this glorious November the 15th? Exactly 1 week from Thanksgiving. Nikki Haley thinks counts like myself are a threat to national security because I post anonymously where I don't reveal my name. That's on Twitter, Truth Social, when I remember to log in on all the streaming platforms or video platforms. She thinks because I don't give out my full name or has a picture next to me, I'm a threat to national security. That's what she said on Fox News the other night. But she's also walking back that stance because she almost committed political suicide. Almost, but I think he got pretty darn close. I may have voted for her if she was the GOP nomination. If she gets the nomination, I'm voting third party. I don't really trust her, but that's all right. Haley calls for social media reforms, targeting users' accountability. The former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley called social media reforms, including showing algorithms of social media companies. Haley proposed that every person on social media should be verified by their name to prevent anonymous accounts and misinformation. Are you sure that she's a Republican? That's more of a Democrat stance. We want to make sure who's behind the keyboard so we could punish them accordingly if they go against the approved narrative. Haley proposal received pushback from GOP rivals Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy, who called it a dangerous and unconstitutional. Freedom of the press is also there. The First Amendment was there. Also, I think it was pentagrams allow you to report the news anonymously. Is the bedrock of the American Revolution that kicked out the Brits. Dr. Seuss is not his real name, and he was warning us about communism and socialism out of Russia. According to the castanet.net, no, this is highly factual. They're on the center. So I'm going to take ground.news recommendations. Haley's walk back demand. Nikki Haley walks back her demand that social media ban anonymous poster after facing GOP backlash. On Wednesday, partly walked back her proposal requiring social media companies to ban people from posting anonymously online for national security reasons, a stance for which she drew backlash from across conservative social media and some of her GOP presidential rivals. The former UN ambassador comments Tuesday on Fox News were quickly spread by the campaign of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Both Haley and DeSantis are trying to resonate with the GOP constituents, including parents worried for their children online safety. Parents worried for their child's online safety. How about parents should be freaking parents and control their kids' internet usage? You could set up a proxy and do whitelists of websites you allow your kids to go to. You don't need big government daddy to protect them. Just saying. As well as voters fearful of China's influence in U.S. affairs. Well, you could ban TikTok in your household. Like, I would want to see the fall of TikTok, which is a Chinese-based company that has a Chinese-based app. But there's ways to go about that without banning it. You have a campaign saying, ditch TikTok, go to fill in the blank site that is ran by an American company or a Western company that has Western values. So there's ways to do it without Big Daddy coming in and banning it. Let's see here. As well as voters fearful of China's influence in U.S. affairs as they try to battle for a distant second place behind former President Donald Trump. Haley and DeSantis have accused each other of being weak on China in particular. Speaking of weak on China, Joe Biden met with his boss, his paycheck writer, President Xi in San Francisco with Gavin Newsom. Every person on social media should be verified by their name. It's a national security threat, Haley, a former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador, said Tuesday on Fox News. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say and to get rid of the Russian bots and Iranian bots and the Chinese bots. Dangerous road. Ministry of Truth. She says that she fears social media anonymity could translate into misinformation. Haley said that you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say. You know, the whole point of me being anonymous, not showing my face, is protection from people that don't like what I have to say. If they knew who I was, they could look who I work for. They could pressure my company to fire me, all because they don't agree with X or Y or Z. People are vicious online, and they take that viciousness into real life, and they ruin people's lives. Let's see, Haley said on Tuesday she would demand access to social media algorithms to understand how various contents ends up in front of certain users. I mean, this is a valid point. Don't get me wrong. This is a valid point. We have to know how the algorithms work, but then if you know how the algorithms work, then you could manipulate the algorithms. And if you're a cunning person like that, you get your word out there. It's a double-edged sword, let's put it that way. She appeared on Ruthless podcast along the side of co-host who goes by Comfortably Smug Online. They need to verify every person on their outlet. I want it by name, Haley said, reiterating by her previous comments that such a move would weed out foreign-based bot accounts. Tuesday night, some of Haley's Republican rivals have begun to critique her proposal online. You know who were anonymous writers back in the day? Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison. When they wrote the Federalist Papers, DeSantis posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. Can we just call it Twitter? No, seriously, can we just call it Twitter? Let's hear. Calling Haley proposal ban dangerous and unconstitutional. Other conservative social media echoes DeSantis' notions. Nice try, Nikki, posted Charlie Kirk, the CEO and co-founder of conservative youth organization Turning Point USA, also referred to the Federalist paper. Anonymous author, anonymous speech is the core part of free speech. Conservative radio personality Dana Loesch agreed, saying Wednesday on her show that she was against Haley's argument, despite the fact that Loesch has said that she had experienced online harassment and even death threats. Kind of comes with the territory. The more you grow, the more haters you get. The more haters you get, the more comfortable they are saying some pretty rotten things. Pretty disgusting things. Entrepreneur, Vivek Ransomary, I guess I can't say intrapreneur, whatever, someone that creates capital out of thin air, that puts his money where his word is and creates businesses. Vivek Ransomary, whom Haley had frequently feud in recent candidate debates, including calling him scum after an attack on her daughter for having used TikTok, referencing her idea as disgusting. I saw that highlight. I didn't see where Haley, I think it was one of the previous debates, called out Vivek for using TikTok and also wanting to ban TikTok. And he's a entrepreneur, which means that he's going to go where the voters are, which is currently TikTok, to get his message through. So he may be a little hypocritical, but he's also not an idiot. He's not going to kneecap his own campaign. But he does probably recognize it's a little hypocritical of himself. But the attack wasn't on her daughter. The attack was on her for saying that Vivek shouldn't use TikTok while her daughter uses TikTok. And replying to Ranswamy was Elon Musk, the owner of X, formerly known as Twitter. Super messed up, Musk wrote. She can stop pretending to run for president now. Under his ownership, Musk has opened up X verification checkmarks to paid users, not just those who previously were required to submit identification, but in order to be considered verified. The confusion that ensured after Musk bought the San Francisco company for $44 billion last year raises concerns that the platform could lose its status as a purveyor of accurate, up-to-date information from authentic sources, including in emergencies. They're just mad that they lost control of Twitter, which was a honeypot for their disinformation that was getting out. So, of course, they're going to slander Musk, even though the campaign against Twitter is working because he is losing money, but he has some bigger plans for it. On Wednesday, Haley had somewhat amended her stance, asked on CNBC if she was advocating for a ban on all anonymous social media posts. Haley said that while she believed life would be more civil if we were able to do that, she was focused on foreign-based actors, not U.S. citizens. Free speech for U.S. citizens, but not abroad, is her stance. I'm sorry, you either are for free speech for everyone or free speech for no one. Once you start putting people in the exclusion pile, it's no longer free speech. I don't mind anonymous American people having free speech. What I don't like is anonymous Russian and Chinese and Iranians having free speech, Haley said, not expanding how recommending that social media companies parse those users. Her campaign didn't immediately return to a message for seeking further explanation on how that distinction would be made. Are there comments on here or it's just ads? It's just ads. It's a dangerous game when you say free speech for us, but no free speech for you. I think the elected leader of the United States, a global power of the Western Hemisphere, some say around the world, should support free speech for everyone, not just for its own people. We're supposed to be this shiny beacon on the hillside. We're supposed to be a lighthouse to show others the way. And that includes promoting our ideas, our freedoms across the world. And promoting them, saying with free speech, you can have open dialogue and come up to a better solution than just silencing people, shutting people up, just because they're in another country. Their voices don't matter because they're not Americans or have American values. And really, it's free speech for all, free speech for none, not just for us and our allies. I think I don't know if she's going to recover from this. Maybe she may recover from this in the long term, but the short term, I see this hurting her in the polls, and it may be enough for her to convince her to step down. Honestly, if she has those strong feelings, I'm not going to vote for her in a general election, assuming that she gets the nomination. I'll vote for the Libertarian Party, or I'll even vote for Joe Manchin or Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Jr. Is it Robert Kennedy Jr.? Yeah, I think it's Robert Kennedy Jr. I'll vote for those before I vote for her. She's she's a warmonger for one, and I don't support that. There's so many reasons for me not to vote for her. I just don't trust her. She just gives me kind of Hillary Clinton vibes, to be honest. But this video's gone long enough. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.